Hey everyone, welcome back to Victoria 3 and the Germany campaign. This originally started as Austria forming Germany as the leader of the German unification movement. It is now in the 1870s and the rest of the world is starting to get a little concerned about the aggressive nature of the German Empire. So welcome back and let's get started. All right, April 6, 1871, Germany finds itself in a commanding position as the preeminent power of the world. Although we rank number 2, slightly behind France as the number 1 ranked country in the world. Although we outmatch their GDP, we are number 1. It's standard of living that seems to be the major issue for us. We do have a large number of radicals that are on the decline, and our standard of living is on the rise. We probably could use a few more universities to generate more literacy. Would probably help. Also, we do have kind of a punch list of items to take care of. So why don't we take care of these things and at the same time look at world domination. So we are working our way through the citizenship laws. We're doing cultural exclusion next, and it is getting close to being passed with a 45.9%, or I'm sorry, a 43% chance of success this current go around. Also, in hindsight, I realized we still have mercantilism, which I think at the very least we need to go protectionism. And that should give us a big boost in income, especially on the tariff side. So cultural exclusion did pass. And you can see that the cultural exclusion kind of includes most of what is Eastern and Western European stock. So there you go. We are now number 1. So we have overtaken France for that number 1 spot of great powers. The Germans are easily bored, and it is time to pick a fight. Maybe we will start with some minor African tribes in the Ethiopian region. We're going to conquer a state of Shewa. Some African nations are leaning to help. We will gladly also add war goals to take them as well if they decide to join. We've added more war goals. It looks like the great powers are going to stay out of this. Especially France, as we about to cross the final phase, and yes, France will stay out. Interesting thing here is France is now trying to make a play in the Nile, and I am considering backing up the Noor in the Nile River Valley. That would be right over here. We are going to lean on the side of the Noor and see what France ends up doing. Let's mobilize some more of our generals, though. We'll mobilize all generals, but we will not activate conscripts yet. So war against Shewa breaks out. With infamy already at a notorious 76.5, we're actually going to back off against the French in the Nile River Valley. We will deal with them later. And as anticipated, the wars against the Ethiopian kingdoms is progressing as planned. Sadamo capitulates. Again, some more capitulation. Shewa also capitulates. And you can see the scramble for Africa in full effect as France won their war against the Nuer nation. We are finishing up our war in Ethiopia. Really need to go to protectionism, so why don't we get that done? Probably should have tried to enact that earlier, but I think we have much more support for it. Less impact on the industrialists and landowners. Kaffa capitulates. So it looks like the world is starting to get wise to the German plans of world domination, and you can see that diplomatically, we're seeing a lot of red now. We are trying to improve relations with Great Britain to retain one ally or someone at least a little bit friendly. Scandinavia also is a potential ally in the future. Migration is still kind of an issue in Germany. That's why we got some support for closed borders, but I don't think we're going to go to that route. Managed to improve our bureaucracy. Why don't we take our law enforcement up a notch? That should help with some of the radicals and turmoil. Protectionism is almost close to being passed. We will know in 1874. So protectionism was able to be passed. Brings our revenues up to $1 million now. Definitely a definite big increase in tariffs. We've decided to go in and puppet Moldavia and possibly Wallachia. So we're going to go with making it a puppet. Now, this will bring Russia into the war. So we're going to really test our mettle against the Russian forces. Although we do outmatch them in size. We actually have a larger army than the Russians. We're going to also try to puppet Wallachia. So we've just added a war goal. Let's mobilize all generals. Activate conscripts as well. We're just going to activate some of our larger conscript areas. So far, Russia is only leaning towards protecting Moldavia. They ain't so sure about this. So Russia has joined. So we're going to have probably the largest war since the German unification wars that we've seen in a while. So we are sending our generals to the fronts, trying to overload now the Russian front. Currently we have over 300 battalions on the Russian front. The Russians sending 89 battalions there. But they have another 70 on the Krakow, the smaller Krakow front. You can see right now, it looks like we'll have the advantage as far as the quality of our troops. And we should have the advantage in manpower too. All right, war has officially broken out. Let's take a look what's about to happen. Our first engagement near Krakow, we are getting pushed back though in the opening phases. Just a little bit outnumbered here. Same thing on the Prussian and Polish border. We will suffer defeat, although it looks like we may recover, possibly, but does not look like. Oh, are they? Oh, there's the reversal. Nice job by the general. Ludwig von der Tann. Off to a shaky start in Wallachia and Moldavia. So the mountainous terrains of the Carpathian Mountains giving us some troubles. Here's a large battle here in Moldavia. Looks like it should be a major victory for the Germans. The Germans marching into Poland, Russian Poland, and now in East Prussia and the Baltics. And the Germans are now finally pushing on all fronts, except for maybe Wallachia, but we expect that to eventually succumb to our forces. We may have to reinforce it as the Russians are bolstering the Wallachians. Finally, a breakthrough in Wallachia. It looks like the Russians are completely overran now in Poland and are falling back in the Baltic region as well. Now, we did fail to add any war goals specifically against Russia. That was an oversight by the diplomats, the German diplomats. Uncharacteristic. Moldavia capitulates. Russia becomes the new war leader. So the war for the puppeting of Wallachia and Moldavia have been completed, and that war is over. You can see the nice new flags of Wallachia and Moldavia. So the world is starting to turn against the German Empire as they are beginning to get the sneaking suspicion that Germany's expansion may know no bounds, as we also have puppeted Wallachia and Moldavia by force. That doesn't mean we don't have any friends. The Dutch are very friendly. I believe we have alliances with them. Actually, we have a defensive pact. We have rivaled Italy. Trade agreements with France and Lucca. Customs union with the Netherlands as well. So that is mainly our only friend. The war just ended and we have a truce with Russia, Moldavia, and Wallachia. Gotta fix this market access, so railroads it is. No one to work the railroads, that's probably part of the problem. So to drill down on the impoverished pop standard of living, which is not bad at 14.4, but I still see this 9 million of these pops have a standard living minimum below the minimum expected and will become more radical over time. So that's what I want to drill down on. And we're going to go in the population screen and find, we'll start with peasants and find those pops. Now there's 42 pops there. We'll go for a bigger one. I did just look at these Bosnian pops and try to get them jobs. So their standard of living, my changes did work, and they are increasing in standard of living. So that'll take a little time. Let's drill down on some more of these pops. How about these 883,000 North Italians? We can go into them. We can then go to Venice, and we can figure out that they need clothes, liquor, furniture, basically what we've been building all game long. Since we have input shortages of papers, we'll build some paper mills, some chemical plants, but more importantly, why don't we get a food industry going, because that will provide food and liquor, as it creates liquor and groceries, and they'll lower the cost on that. We're also creating new jobs here in Venice for those pops to maybe get. For our next diplomatic play, we're going to go after Walo. So it is official, the entire world hates us. And the next Ethiopian war, and the Germans are pushing through. Still pushing through. Looks like the war will be over soon enough. We are going to try to push through the presidential republic, but we will stop it if the landowner radicals get out of hand. But we're going to give it a try. And Gojam has fallen. More African territory conquered by Germany. We are over 100 infamy, but we're going to keep pushing along. The trial of Kaiser Ferdinand. The radical government has imprisoned Kaiser Ferdinand von Habsburg and hastily organized a trial. The expected outcome is a guilty verdict followed by public execution. Citizen von Habsburg, the German nation accuses you of having committed multitude of crimes. Sounds like things are getting interesting within Germany. Let's go. This is not justice. It'll take a little bit longer to enact the presidential republic, but it'll give us actually a greater chance of it passing. So Ferdinand survives, but he is age 85. We're actually going to seek to try to get one friend, and that friend will be Spain, as additional support if war breaks out between France and a coalition against us. Maybe we can improve relations with Spain enough to get their support. Going to make another claim on Galetti. Galetti backs down. We've made a slight impact on that 10 million lower strata pops not meeting the minimum standard of living, but we still got some work to do. I think we need a Black Sea port, so the Braja it is. So preparing for a war against the Ottomans. France, Russia, and Great Britain all are going to possibly defend the Ottomans. We may get a big war here. We're going to we'll start mobilizing our conscripts now. The Ottomans go ahead and back down and give us Dobruja. So came to the realization it is too expensive to convert all our artillery, although it is possible, but I feel it's too expensive right now to convert all our artillery to the shrapnel artillery. So we are building massive arms industries right now, and we will also build the required resources as needed also. Now we are officially a presidential republic now. Look at the nice flag change. Next on the list is Borana. Just realized that the president-elect was President Otto von Bismarck. Very cool. Doesn't look quite the same without the Pickelhaube helmet on, does it? Germany expands more into the Ethiopian region, taking over some more Ethiopian kingdoms, bringing that 4.1 million lower strata pops that are not meeting their minimum expected requirement. That was down from 11 million. June 2nd, 1881, and here's the current situation. Germany has expanded, started taking some puppet states, Moldavia and Wallachia. We have expanded deep into the Somaliland Peninsula, and also have a colony in the Congo, and looking for more conquest. We currently have a 110 infamy rating, but a strong coalition has yet to be able to form to counter Germany's aggression and expansion. Thanks for watching the latest episode in the Austria into Germany campaign. If you did enjoy that episode, feel free to follow the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. If you did like it, hit that like button. I do appreciate everyone's time watching the video. Thank you. I'll see you on the next one.